Okay, let's dish this up. Wow. Beautiful layers of lovely rice. Fantastic chicken. Yummy. Welcome back once again to howtocookgreatfood.com. Please click that bell icon just below for notifications. On the menu today, we're going to be making chicken biryani. Now, this takes a little time. There's a few processes, but the results are just wonderful and just really worth it. Let's go and take a look at the ingredients that we need. Okay, let's get started on this. So, I've got 3 ripe tomatoes there, cut nice and small. 1 large onion, again cut nice and small. Some fresh cilantro or coriander, whatever you call that. Down the front here, I've got 4 powders. A teaspoon each of chili, coriander, cumin, and turmeric. Always call that the big 4. Fresh chilies. Tablespoon here of garlic ginger paste. Then we've got some whole seeds or garam masala. Today we're going to be using cumin seeds, cloves, green cardamom, black peppercorns, bay leaf, and some dried chili. You can really play around with these, the amounts, and you can add some other bits and pieces if you wanted. We're going to get going with some oil, add some salt, and next I'm going to show you the chicken. Okay, so for the chicken, you can be using any part of the chicken you want. I've got legs here. I've got 6 chicken legs, which I've cut. I've just cut them in half like that. Skin on, bone in. Let's get to the cooker. Okay, so here we are at the cooker. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to make a chicken curry. We're going to make the rice separately. We're going to do some fried onions, and then we're going to get it all together. So this is our chicken curry we're going to make first here. I've got some oil in there. I'm using a sunflower oil. You can be using something different if you want. Let's pop those whole seeds in, and let's just remind you about those. So green cardamom, black peppercorns, cloves, and cumin seeds. And to that I'm going to add some bay leaf and some dried red chili. And just for a few seconds, let them do their thing in that oil. They'll infuse that oil and give it a really, really wonderful flavour. So don't skip this process. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add our chicken in, and we're going to fry that chicken with these spices for about 5 to 6 minutes. We're on a kind of fairly lively heat, which you'll hear when I put the chicken in. Okay, fantastic. Here goes our chicken. About 5 or 6 minutes. Keep it moving. Okay, so nice bit of colour on the outside. Nowhere near cooked on the inside yet. Still got a way to go. What we're going to do now is drop in our diced onion. I'm using red. Of course, you can be using a different colour if you want. We're going to get some salt in the mix right now. And then we're going to get our garlic ginger paste, which is a 50-50 mix of garlic and ginger, in. And we're going to go staying on this heat for about another 4 minutes. Okay, so while our chicken is cooking there, I just want to show you the process with the rice. So I've got some nice basmati rice. Now, with basmati rice, there are loads of different qualities. Like, you can buy really cheap stuff and really expensive. Like the cheapest, like I say, budget stuff. And then you can get other rice that's like 10 to 20 times more expensive. So try and use the best one you can. This is quite a good quality one. What we're going to do, in that bowl there, I've got 3 of those mugs. What we're going to do is wash it a couple of times in some cold water, and then we're going to soak it. So just cover it with water, and we're going to soak it for about 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, so we've just seen the process with the rice. So that's soaking away. And this is coming on so well. I mean, a bit of a cliche, but this smells amazing. I wish you could smell this already, but hopefully you're going to be doing this at home and getting the same beautiful aromas that I'm getting. Okay, next step. We're now going to add in our powders. Let's just take one more look at those. Now, if you wanted, you could use a curry powder, a pre-made curry powder. What we've got are equal parts, teaspoon each, or a heaped teaspoon each, turmeric, cumin, chili and coriander powders. In they go. Just give that a little mix. Now, a lot of people would make biryani with yogurt in it. The one that I'm making today doesn't have yogurt. I mean, there are so many different types of biryani, by the way, for those that don't know that, but there are many variants on it. Okay, let's get in those tomatoes, those fresh tomatoes. Try and use a nice ripe one. And our fresh chili. This is looking absolutely wonderful. Now what we want is those tomatoes to break down, become a bit of a mush, and give off some moisture. That's why you need to use a nice ripe one. This is going to take about 5 to 6 minutes. I'm going to put a lid on this now. I'll be back then. Okay, so we're kind of at the last stage of our chicken curry there on the cooker. We've seen the rice. I just want to show you this now. Here's about sort of 4 regular sized onions that I've sliced, because what we're going to do is once that curry's finished, we're going to set that aside, and then we're going to fry these till they're nice and crispy, because that's part of what we're going to add when we do the build. Okay, let's jump inside and take a look. Get some steam out for you. Wonderful. Now my tomatoes gave off loads of moisture, as you can see. If yours didn't, you can just add a bit of water here and they're breaking down nicely. Okay, off goes the heat. In goes a nice couple of hefty pinches of garam masala powder, which is a nice finishing spice. In goes some cilantro or fresh coriander. Let's give that a mix. And we're done here. This is wonderful. We've got a really nice little chicken curry here. So we're going to set this aside and move on. Next we'll do the onions. Okay, so we've set aside the chicken. We're going to do the onions. So a little bit more oil in there, and then let's just throw all of our onions in there. And simply we're just going to fry these for about 5 minutes or so, until they're nice and crispy or golden brown, or some people like them really blackened, some people like them just a bit less. Up to you. See you in about 5 minutes. Okay, there you go. I like my onions just like that. Some people like them a bit more crispy. Some people would deep fry them. I obviously did not. Okay, let's set those aside now, and we can move on to our rice. Okay, the rice. So we've soaked our rice for like 20 minutes or so. Drained it off and then give it a little rinse. Now what we want to do now is add some salt. And what I like to do is get a little bit of cinnamon in there. I've got some cinnamon there. That's actually from Sri Lanka. I got that when I was there. You can check that out. I actually went to a cinnamon farm, and that's from the farm. So I've got, like, you know, maybe a centimetre of water above it. What we want to do now is we're going to get a lid on that. What we want to do is cook that until it's 80% done. So we don't want to cook it fully, because we're going to cook it again once we get it all together. So you need it to have just a little bite in it, 80% done. Then we're going to drain it off, and then we'll have all our components, and then we can get it together. Okay, so our components are all together now. Them being rice, 80% cooked. The chicken curry, that's done. I've got some extra cilantro here. We're going to layer some of that up. We've got our fried onions, and just here I've got a turmeric and water solution, like a couple of teaspoons like that in some water. That's going to add a little bit of colour at the end. Okay, we're going to go for the build. What we're going to do is chicken, rice, cilantro or coriander, chicken, rice, build, build, build. I'm going to get on with that. I'm going to speed the camera up right now. Okay, so you saw that process of layering it up like that. We've now got here our turmeric and water solution. You could obviously be using saffron if you wanted, or saffron, as some of you call it. But this is a much cheaper version. We're just spooning this over. Just going to add a little bit of colour to that rice, you know, or some of the rice. You can be using a red food colouring if you want. Some people will put a mixture of yellow and red in. But I think this works just as well. Then we're going to go with our onions, our fried onions on the top there. More cilantro, or coriander as you call that. Now it's time for us to go to the cooker. Okay, so we've got a massive pot of absolute goodness. What we need to do now is get a lid on it. Now I just want to show you my lid. You see my lid's got that hole in it. I don't want that hole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this foil over there. And then my lid on that, and press it down. Now some people, what they would do is they will put a layer of pastry all around the rim of the pan and then seal it. Basically you just want to kind of get this as airtight as you can. Like I say, that hole would not do. And we're going to get this on a very low heat, like as super low as you can. And we're going to go for about 8 to 12 minutes, and then this is going to be ready, and it is going to be absolutely divine. Now if you wanted, as you can see, you can put a hot plate underneath. I've got like a flat metal surface there, like a griddle thing. You can put that underneath and then put the pot on top of that to stop it from burning, because what we want to do is actually just put heat through this. We don't want to be cooking the curry that's in the bottom there. So just an idea, you might want to do that. Okay, so off goes the heat. Let's open this up now. So off comes that lid. Let's get this foil off. And that is looking wonderful. Let me get that on the table there. Okay, and there you go. I mean, it takes a little while, this one, doesn't it? But it's absolutely wonderful. Hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We will see you soon. Lots of love.
With thousands of recipes and millions of views, why not subscribe to our channel and join the family?